How I lost everything and what it taught me about power. People see the comeback stories, but they don't show the part when you're rebuilding with no income, no safety net, and still choosing not to quit. This is that part. You see, I own a logistics business, and I broke down in Florida for a few weeks last year in October. Well, actually, September. I was stuck in one particular spot for about 5 or 6 days at a Jeremiah's restaurant. On October the 13th, I was falsely accused of something I did not do by Karen, and it was subsequently issued a trespass. Now, Officer Liriano said I was trespassed from the restaurant. Officer Courtney Grimes, claimed that I was trespassed from the adjacent plaza, which has a different address and owners as well. Now, I told them I had been on the road for over 4 months, and I had been broken down for a few weeks at this time, and that I was waiting on some money, so I could get the van fixed and get back on the road. I'll be gone soon. So, two other officers came by the next day, said I had 24 hours. Later on that day, just a few hours later, matter of fact, my mechanic finally showed up, and he jump started the van, and I pulled into the adjacent parking lot of the Planet Fitness where I'm a Black Card member. We spent the next few days working on the van in the Planet Fitness parking lot, and about 5 days later, on October 18th, Liriano and Grimes came back while we were working on the van and said I was being arrested for trespassing. I tried to argue my case to no avail. Officer Grimes lied at least 3 or 4 times on myself, as well as lying on a partner. And then Liriano also lied, at the plaza. He was saying that the plaza was off limits, which he didn't say in the initial contact. Either way, to make matters worse, I did some digging and found out Officer Grimes received a proclamation from the city for helping out a white lady who had been in a similar situation as me with car trouble. She even went so far as to get her father to help this lady. Now, in my case, I had to go to jail for having car trouble. So I felt like it was possibly racially motivated. But either way, it was clearly police misconduct. And I can only assume that that's why they dropped the charges after I refused to plead guilty in exchange for time served. So these egregious and malicious actions led to the demise of my business, and I really just want justice. I think Officer Grimes should lose her job the way I had to lose my business. But right now, that's pretty much out of my power. But I'm working on that. And just what is power really? Power is the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or a quality. So I may not have the power to defeat the system by myself, but with the help of you all, we can definitely make some headway. This almost destroyed my life, and no one talks about it. And the biggest lesson I learned was that your business can disappear overnight, and if you're not mentally prepared, you'll disappear with it. So learn from my scars. I'm sharing the rebuild in real time. The next video, we're going to talk about the pivot and what comes next for this channel. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely turn on your notifications so you don't miss it. And remember, either your mind will expand to match your money, or your money will just shrink to match your mind. Let's grow, y'all.